on the Homefront. I'm your host, Bradley J. Burt. Thanks for tuning in. This episode is taking our scientific research into a whole new direction, in a whole new arena, into a whole new form of scientific fusion. This show is being broadcasted over 5 different mediums. This show uses YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, WordPress, and SoundCloud. These services are available free here at Madison College for you as a student. And what this service provides is a way out and escape from the darkest hour. The darkest hour is that flux in our life. And when I started this journey, when the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater accepted my application, I met with the political science department chair. I told her this concept called flux journalism. She said that's probably a better suited fit for the communications department. And it was at that point when the journalism journey began. Now that was September of 2019. And as we've traveled forward through the 11th hour of the pandemic, we look around ourselves and we ask ourselves in honesty, do we really feel safe? Does our society look sustainable? Could it be time to actually take advantage of that employee assistance program and look in the mirror and realize that this is the 11th hour and that help is on the horizon? The diabolical journaling is now entering into the scientific fusion state. We're doing what's called firsthand witness testimony. Each time we interview a future guest on our show, the first thing we are going to ask them is, where were you in your darkest hour during the pandemic? Let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. You are listening to Hell is Warm on the Homefront on Clarion Radio. Well, welcome back to Hell is Warm on the Homefront. So let's get started talking about how we're going to fuse this diary into scientific research. We're going to take everything that we witnessed between fear and loathing and stigma, and we're going to examine our part in this. We're going to do so by locating 3 resources that talk about Machiavellianism. And then we're going to look at those 3 resources, and we're going to examine our findings over the next 2 shows. And then we're going to take that examination and teach you how to interview a Machiavellian and calm their tempered spirit. You see, the Machiavellian is a disturbed individual. Somebody who would want to hold somebody hostage would really seriously have to be mentally ill. And when you think about it, to use these innate gifts that we're given in college to make those arrangements is not a virtuous exchange with our social contract. Madison College impressed upon me a conviction with philosophy, but the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater instilled within me a conviction to seeking the truth with our justice, legal, and government system. So between the two, political science and journalism, we examine records. That's a big part of this job. And through examination, we will find the truth. The truth is found in 3-person interviews. In the journalism field, when we interview 3 people, we take what they said, compare the notes, and accept what they say is truth based on the objective point of view. But in gonzo journalism, we're looking at fear and loathing, and we're also going to inspect ourselves through introspect, which is taking that real good look in the mirror in comparison to this Machiavellian research. And then after that, we're going to have to make the decision. Are we the angel or are we the demon? And if we're the demon, then what are we going to do to stop it? Because here at Hell is Warm on the Homefront, we're about putting the hellfire out, and we're about letting the angelic light in. And we're doing so under the premise of this fusion communications research. We're examining the barriers and facilitators of my success in college. But as of today, we're going to go back to 2019 when I published my very first gonzo journalism piece with the Clarion newspaper. I was serving as a practicum student at the time and didn't understand reporting. And in high school, I had researched gonzo journalism and creative writing. And I thought coming to school that gonzo journalism was a legitimate journalism source. And boy, did I find out the wrong way. But I can tell you this much. In the 11th hour, gonzo journalism is going to navigate you on the way out. And we're going to do the fusion between 6 different social mediums. We're going to take each live stream and we're going to roll it into one photo slideshow. That's how we're we're going to put this process together. I've already done this. This product has been patented. And in this moment, for academic research, what we want to do is fuse the sociology honors project from spring 2022 with this current independent study, which is this show. This show is being broadcasted for the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, and for the official record, this show is Communications Fusion. I was told by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel senior editor was that if we are going to do anything as journalists in college, we should be looking at the convergent media field. That's where the future is. Convergent media isn't just being able to do all the sources. It's being able to know how to use fusion to pull a story together, to make it authentic. You see, all this stuff here on this show, yes, it's pre-recorded, but it's happening during the independent study. And that's what makes it authentic. In every single one of my breaths right now, I'm able to manifest a lot of things with communication as a capstone valedictory essay. But for this purpose, we're talking about gonzo journalism. So Hunter S. Thompson would want us to survey the microaggression. That's what he talks about in Hell's Angels. That's his most notorious book, where I saw myself heading last semester, profiling a group of bikers. Hunter S. Thompson followed the Hell's Angels around and profiled their egomania and their behavior. And he just looked at them through the lens of what we're looking through right now, and that's fear, loathing, and stigma. Fear and loathing in Las Vegas happened between 2020 and 2022, after my professor in the documentary storytelling class told me I should be pursuing this as a trade secret. It's something he learned at the Washington Post. And so now for you, I want to bring it to you and provide it to you through a workshop. But the way we're going to do this, we're going to create a confessional story style. So the last 5 episodes, everything that has gone on is available on my SoundCloud. These shows are all backed up on SoundCloud. So for those who wish to come forward and want to be a part of this interactive journey, you can at any point. Very simply, it's just writing your way out of a trauma bond, profiling an angel or a demon, and taking a look at the scientific research to determine whether or not you are the demon or whether you are not the angel. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back and we're going to unpack the rest of fusion. We're just going to really kick back and think about next how we're going to tie this fusion together. This is going to be like balloon animals, I'm telling you. You're listening to Clarity Radio. Hell is warm on the home front. The American Optometric Association encourages computer users observe the 20-20-20 rule. The 20-20-20 rule prevents eye strain by looking away from the computer and taking periodical breaks. Prolonged exposure can cause serious neurological side effects such as lack of focus, forgetfulness, and fatigue. The 20-20-20 rule suggests looking away from the screen every 20 minutes for 20 seconds and staring at objects 20 feet away. Taking time out for yourself proved beneficial. Take a break, you deserve it. For more eye care tips, visit www.aoa.org. Welcome back, Wolfpack. So in episode 4, we talked about trauma bond responses: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. These are the 4 profiles that we're looking at here in the confessional in the 11th hour, because that's when we're in our survival state. We're no longer innate. We're just like them. We're inept. Our fire's burned out. We can't communicate. We can't think straight. We deal with gaslighting, love bombing, microaggressions. We deal with the torture, and it's time for us to escape. This week, I want you to take an opportunity and go on Google or do whatever you want to do and explore the tunnel of Machiavellianism. And then what we're going to do next week is we're going to do a creative writing sample, a fiction sample. We're going to start up the 11th hour diaries of the apocalypse. These are fiction stories about our trauma, what we experienced, and renaming the people and then giving it to people so they can really truly see what's going on in their lives. What I learned with stigma in my research, it stems from abuse. It stems from gatekeeping. It's grooming. It's everything I studied back in 2019 and brought forward till now. And through the pandemic, bringing that through the pandemic, scientifically studying it, looking at it through the lens of philosophy in contrast to culture. Where are we culturally appropriate in this? Mindfulness is for everyone. Mindfulness is the only channel for unity. No religion can provide that channel that mindfulness can. These classes are provided here at Madison College. And as the listener uses this podcast and as we begin to scientifically research and survey someone who deals with chronic microaggressions from people, because I am basically being told you don't belong here, because people would not say those things to me if I did. That's a fact. It's an angelic truth. People would never speak to you this way if you were welcome there. So if the first gen student class and the disability class are grouped together, then why are we not forming a fellowship to protect one another? Well, we have that here. Hell is Warm on the Homefront is hosted by the Sacred Warrior Fellowship Incorporated, which was a additional project to the Fox Valley E-Seed Autumn Landmine Project and is the driver for all of this. As an ordained minister, unity is the only thing that I can offer each and every one of you. And the only way that I can find that is when I surrender. And that's what our POW and MIA did. They're the ones who surrendered their life to the care of us. And so as we escape like them, we remember them. We try to bring them home. We are the sacred warriors. We're the sacred warriors. We bring light into the darkest hour. And during the darkest hour, we stand firm and steadfast, knowing truth that the angels, Michael and Gabriel, will light the way to our freedom and that we don't have to stay stuck in this hell. Hell is optional. Hell is the mind of the Machiavellian. Hell is the manifestation of love bombing, future faking, things we find that profile the people who are listed under the Machiavellian state. It's our job as journalists to profile them and to hold them accountable to their state because it is their choice to remain in that state. This 11th hour confessional offers inclusivity and grace that those who are welcome in this space receive the same treatment of a warrior. We are all pandemic warriors. We need unity. We need to let our demons free, and we need to open the door to unity. So this week, what we're going to do, we're just going to go look up the word Machiavellianism. It's located on my website at helliswarmonthehomefront.wordpress.com. And what we'll find will guide us through the door and take us out of ambivalence. Thank you for tuning in this week. I appreciate your support. Thank you for supporting this bootstrap journey. Thank you for supporting building multimedia opportunities for students at the Clarion Radio Broadcasting Station. And thank you for letting me serve as the general manager of broadcast during the pandemic. And with everything that has been brought forward and has been remanifested to rework and hand back over to the university, we realize that we made it through a hardship and survived. And that's the most important factor here. We're all sacred warriors, and we must escape the Machiavellian state. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bradley J. Burt. This is Hell is Warm on the Homefront. You're tuning into Clarion Radio. Have a great week. Drum sounds are provided by VassoElements.com through subscription with Autumn Landmine Productions, the host of the show. Thanks for tuning in.